Hey, Bruce here, the 5-Minute Handyman. I am scraping some popcorn off the ceiling of a house and I wanted to show you how to do that. So let's take a look at some of the hardware and we'll talk about it. What I'm going to use is this 8-inch spackle knife, and what I've done is I've taken a file and I've just filed a small radius on the corner on each side of this knife. And the reason I do that is because the corner that was here was very sharp, and as I'm scraping, if for some reason I dig it in, it's going to leave a gouge mark, and then I have to go back with some spackle and fix that. And so by just rounding off just a very little bit of the knife here, it gives me a nice corner so that it doesn't gouge into the sheetrock. So what I've got is, as you see, I've got a mask that I'm going to be wearing. I'm going to start in this top corner over here, and you can see the popcorn. It's not well, this room has not been painted. If it's been painted, you might want to just take some water and spray it to loosen it up, and then it'll scrape easily. But for this one, I've done one of the other rooms already, and it just scrapes off pretty nicely since it hasn't been painted. Once I get done with scraping it, I've got a bucket with water here, and I've got a floor mop, and I'll show you how to go about cleaning the ceiling, because there's going to be a lot of, just a lot of dust and things that's going to come off when we scrape down the ceiling. So let me put my mask on and I'll show you how we go about doing this. And so I'm just going to do a small section right now, and then I'll show you how to clean it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start here. You don't have to push very hard. Just in fact, you can go very lightly, come back and do a second pass. Okay, so you want to have your blade at about just under a 30-degree angle. Okay, and this is going to scrape off nicely. Okay. So the idea here is to do it slowly so you don't generate a lot of dust. You can see the popcorn is falling all down onto the carpet. And let's see if we get a look at what this looks like here. Alright, so I still have a little bit of a texture, but it's a flat texture. Okay, we don't have lumps sticking out like the popcorn, but it's nice and smooth, which is what we want. And so typically what I would do is I would do the whole room, and then I would go ahead and clean it off. Let me just show you the process that I use for the cleaning part of it, to get the dust off of the ceiling. And so I've got this mop, and I got this from Walmart, and it has the rollers that squeeze it out. And so I put it in the water and wrung it out nicely. And so what I'll do is just take this, and what I want to do is I want to kind of roll it over the dusty area. Alright, you can see how we have the residue on the one side. And take a look at my wiping video. The techniques there are exactly what I'm using here. I want to start on the edge and work my way toward the middle of my sponge. Okay, so I'm starting on the edge of the sponge, the top edge of the sponge, and as I bring it across, I'm going to start here and then cause the dust to work its way toward the center. All right, so now once I get that wiped, and I'll just do one wipe each direction. Okay, and then the process I'll use here is I'm going to put it into the water, and I'll go up and down a couple of times because I want to rinse off the loose stuff. Okay, and then I'll activate the rollers, but now there's still a lot of water in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and squeeze this. Okay, and you can see how much more water is coming out, because I don't want this roller to be soaking wet. I just want it to be moist, so that when I'm ready to do my next wipe, I have a nice clean sponge. And so that's the process that we would use for taking popcorn off a ceiling and then getting it prepped for paint. And so we're going to let this dry a little bit, and then I could go ahead and paint it. And a lot of the dust that was on there from scraping has fallen down, but the residue that's still up there has been wiped off. So that's a technique on taking popcorn off. If you are doing this in a room that is not going to have the carpet taken out, then obviously you want to put down something, some plastic or some tarps to catch the residue. If you have newly painted walls, which these are not, then you would want to take and tape plastic right up to the top here so that none of this residue would fall down here. So if I wipe this, you know, there's a good chance of having some dust on the walls. So that's a technique that I use. Would love to have you subscribe to my channel. And if there's anything you'd like me to show you how to do in regards to home repairs, please leave me a comment. Thanks for watching.